Good afternoon. This is the CMS TV news with Christine Lambers and the time now is 12 p.m. First with the headlines. Independent Scotland could lose the pound. Robin van Persie blasts Manchester United to the 20th Premier League title. Boston bomb suspects had religious motives. Gunmen abduct 2 bishops in northern Syria. And now with the rest of the news. First with the news from UK. Independent Scotland could lose the pound. George Osborne warns Scotland may not be able to keep the pound as the Treasury casts doubt on the idea of a sterling zone. He confirms that there is no guarantee it can retain the pound if it becomes independent. The Chancellor said independence would force Scotland to adopt new currency arrangements, which would be a very deep dive into uncharted waters. The Scottish Government has outlined plans to keep the pound if the country becomes independent after next year's referendum. But in a new report, the Treasury said that the economic case for creating a sterling zone was not clear and cast doubt on whether a deal could be reached. Van Persie blasts Manchester United to 20th Premier League title. Manchester United have won the 20th English top title with a Robin van Persie hat-trick which gave them a 3-0 victory over Aston Villa at Old Trafford. Sir Alex Ferguson is now the most successful manager in British football. The title success was his 49th club trophy since he began his managerial career with East Stirling in 1974. As well as it being United's 20th title overall, it is also the 13th Premier League title for both the club and Ferguson. Manchester United striker Robin van Persie was understandably delighted after propelling Manchester United to the record-breaking Barclays Premier League title. The Dutchman has often been cited as the key factor in United's success this season, and fierce rival City falling well short of regaining the crown they won last year. And heading over to news from the United States, Boston bomb suspects had religious motive. The 2 brothers suspected of bombing the Boston Marathon appear to have been motivated by a radical brand of Islam, but they do not seem connected to any Muslim terrorist groups, US officials have said. Authorities have interrogated and charged the surviving brother Zohar Sarneev with crimes that could bring the death penalty. The 19 years old remains in a serious condition with a gunshot wound to his throat and other injuries suffered during his attempted getaway. And finally with the news from the Middle East. Gunmen abduct 2 bishops in northern Syria. Militants in a rebel-held area of northern Syria have abducted 2 bishops traveling from the Turkish border back to the city of Aleppo. The kidnapping was reported by Syrian state media and confirmed by a member of official opposition leadership. Yohanna Ibrahim is head of the Syrian Orthodox Church in Aleppo, and Bulis Yazigi leads the Greek Orthodox Church in the city. They are most senior Christian clerics caught up directly in the war. It was not immediately clear who had kidnapped them. Christians made up about 10% of the mainly Sunni Muslim country's population before the uprising against President Bashar al-Assad began just over 2 years ago. According to the UN, at least 70,000 people have been killed overall in the civil war and more than 1 million living as refugees in neighboring countries. Thank you for viewing, and this was the afternoon news with Christine Lambers. For more updates, join us at 5 p.m. Have a good day.